Okay, what a day. What a day. Let me have a look at this. Okay. So in the stream this morning, I was talking about the daily level, and I was saying that we haven't had a 4-hour close underneath this level. Yeah. And T13 Vi. Okay, I'll have a look at Vi. I'm just going to do Bitcoin and Slerf first, actually. Yeah, this morning I was saying that we haven't had a close under here, so we're holding support. And yeah, we were holding support. I didn't think this trend line would make any difference to the price action, and it didn't. And also what's quite interesting about the price action earlier on today was that the point of control was front run. So if you look at the point of control, which is here, you can see how the price sold off and was just bounced really hard. Effectively, what this is saying is that there was so many limit orders scaled in here that it absorbed all of the selling. So the price couldn't even get to the point of control. That's how bullish. This is extremely bullish price action. Extremely bullish. It was quite interesting watching that, actually. When that happened today, on my Twitter, I posted 8 hours ago, like 1:44 p.m. Don't sell, buy. And 1:44. You look at the time here, you see 1:44 was here. 1:44 was here. Right here on this green doji. This 15-minute time frame. I was posting and I was saying don't sell, buy. See that? And then here I wrote at 1:53, I'm not fading out. Slerf, Slerf, this is the dip. And that was here. This red candle. I was buying. I bought the dip. I literally bought the dip. And I'm going to talk about Slerf in a second. Okay. So let me just go over what happened today. It wasn't looking bearish at all, to be honest with you. Like when I was looking at the price action earlier on, I wasn't feeling bearish at all. I couldn't see the bearishness that I needed to see to become bearish. And when you get when you see the price being bought, when you see support being held, when you see a reaction of a major level, you just can't get bearish. You have to be patient. You have to see what happens. Okay. So I wasn't seeing that. So naturally, when I saw the price go down, I bought the dip because I knew that support was being held. Now, the question is, what would have happened if you buy the dip and the price closes lower down? Okay, you see, that's a different situation. It didn't happen. And so you have a chance to close your trade, but obviously there was no need because support held. When you look at this, you see that support, it looks like support is holding on the 4-hour time frame. So maybe people need to zoom out a little bit on the time frames, and I think maybe that gets people into a lot of trouble because they're not zooming out. They're kind of really focused on these local time frames. And so when you look at the local time frame here, I'm looking now at the 30-minute time frame. Look, that looks pretty bearish, right? It looks like we've lost the major support level. Yeah. But if you widen your time horizon and zoom out a little bit, you can get a different picture. And actually it's the better picture. Yeah, it's really important to have an overall zoomed out picture and not get too distracted with a local time frame picture. Use the local time frame to enter and to exit, but you use the more higher time frames to formulate your bias and your overall strategy and plan. Okay, so while you're holding support, you can't get bearish. It's just a really bad idea, and you're always going to get yourself into trouble. You lose support, okay, get bearish. And obviously it looks like we left support, but it was just a really great opportunity to buy the dip. You know, that's what happened. Now when I zoom in on the local time frame, on the really, like, let's just really zoom in. Let me hide my indicator here so we don't get distracted. And actually, let me just get rid of these fixed ranges because they're in the way. When you see the price drop, you got really high volume. It's very obvious. The first clue in this reversal, if people are zooming in, let's just zoom in. Just go to the candle formation. The first clue in this whole pattern was the volume. You had a pretty heavy volume to the downside. Okay, that's quite a heavy volume. When you look at the whole range, look at all of this range, you see how low the volume is, and then suddenly you get really heavy volume. Bam, bam. Okay, that's your first clue. Actually, it's a clue because it means that people shorting or selling down. They're selling into the lows. Yeah, and especially the second candle. This is the real candle in question. Yeah, it's quite high volume, and so you have people selling into the lows, shorting into the lows. Yeah, because this is the perpetual contract. So you have people market selling into the lows. And then the second clue here is here. I'll show you. You see the bottom of here, the liquidity was taken here. So as the price came down, it took the liquidity and the price immediately reacted up. You see that? That's a massive reaction. And you have a bullish reversal candle here. You have a bullish reversal candle here. As the price comes above this red candle with high volume, all of a sudden, all of these people are trapped. You have trapped traders in the lows. Yeah, you have a swing failure. You have a bullish reversal pattern. And then suddenly, as the price comes up, you have trapped traders. Do you know what happens to trapped traders? They have to close at market, which pulls the price right back up. So effectively what happened is people were shorting into the lows. They got trapped. And they closed the market, which brought the price right back. And then longs entered. And then these higher shorts were trapped too. And they closed the market. That's effectively what happened in this price action. And I'm going to show you that on XO charts, actually. On the order flow. I'm going to show you what happened. Okay. So here you see longs are closing, but you have a lot of negative delta. You have minus 17, minus 11. It isn't longs closing. It's also shorts opening in this. It's hard to see. You see here, look, dominant order size, minus 9.8 million negative delta. It's market selling, basically, market selling. And you can see how here the OI comes down and it comes up. You see that? So you see here, you see these wicks on the OI. So you have longs closing, but then you also have shorts opening. You have longs closing, but then you have shorts opening. Yeah. So it isn't just longs closing that pulled the price down. It was also shorts opening. So you have a lot of shorts opening into these lows. And you see this is longs opening. Immediately longs opened. Okay. And as soon as the price came back above here, you see all of this negative OI, open interest, decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. This is just shorts getting trapped. These trap shorts closing at market. See that? Pulls the price up. And the same thing happens up here. Okay. So yeah, basically it's just shorts getting trapped. This is trap shorts. And they just basically shorted at exactly the wrong time and the wrong moment, and they got trapped, and then they pulled the price right back up. It's effectively what happened. And here you've got a liquidation bubble. I'm not seeing crazy longs opening in here in this range, to be honest with you. Usually when the longs open, you see the OI go up. There are longs opening, but not crazy amounts of longs. So we have to see how that plays out. I'd like to see longs open, but I'm not seeing that as much as I'd like to see at the moment. It's just an observation. Let's go back to the BTC chart. Bays, what makes this lower low just like the 20 times before? A small bounce and a new low on Slerf. I'm gonna analyze Slerf just after I go over Bitcoin, if you don't mind. Let me just finish Bitcoin. And I'll go. I'm focusing on Slerf a little bit these days because I'm in a position now, so it helps me to do my own analysis. So basically I'm just doing my own analysis, and I'm doing it here as well with you guys. Anyway, so Bitcoin is looking strong again, not looking weak. Let me just do a couple of things here on Bitcoin. I'm gonna have a look at the volume to see if there's any changes on this whole volume profile. Value area high is a little bit higher now. That's about it. No real change. We're back into this previous range. You can see this local VA value area high, local POC, in control, local value area low. We're into this. We're back above this trend line. So I think I said in my morning stream that it looks like this trend line wasn't being respected, and now that we're back above it, I would like it to be respected. So I said that it wasn't being respected. Now that we're back above it, I would like for it to be respected. I want to see it respected now. You can see how now this candle in 1 hour time frame has bounced off it a little bit. So I want to see this now. Now we're back above it. I want to see it respected. Let's see. I do feel that we need to see this trend line respected now. And I do want to get back above this local point of control. That's a bullish continuation. If you see how the price has moved down, this is a very strong, powerful V-shaped recovery. See that? Really powerful, bullish recovery. It's a very bullish price action. There's no indication of weakness in this price action. And possibly now we're going to consolidate for a little bit. And the great thing is we're back above the previous all-time high. We're back into this this range here. Okay. And now that we're in this range, I think that we need to hold this range. We don't want to go back down. I don't think it will look good for us to now fall right back down. I think it could happen. Anything can happen in Bitcoin. You have to bear that in mind. Anything. Yeah. Don't ever get complacent about Bitcoin. Bitcoin can do miracles, and it can also take us to the pits of hell. Yeah. So just be aware that we don't want to lose levels now that we've claimed and reclaimed levels. Now, as you can see, as the price came up, it reacted off the previous all-time high. So, and it looks like it's reacting off this trend line again. So I think if we start losing these levels, it's going to look quite bearish again. Yeah. And just be aware of that. So if you start seeing after this bounce that we start going down again, just expect another sell-off. Yeah, why wouldn't you? It's going from bullish to bearish again. Yeah, so I'm not saying it's going to happen, but anything can happen in crypto. And if you suddenly see us losing levels again, that's not going to be bullish continuation. It'll be basically a bounce, and that's it. It'd be like a dead cat bounce, but it was like a crazy dead cat. I'm not seeing that right now. At the moment, I'm seeing a little bit of decline in volume. Okay, and maybe we're just going to consolidate here for a little bit. I don't know what's going to happen, and maybe hopefully we'll take a next step up and go up. That's what I would like to see, and that would be consistent with what we're seeing right now. Okay, we need to attack the highs one more time. We need to keep on attacking the highs. That's bullish. It's always bullish to be in the highs. It's never bearish when you're always in the highs. It only becomes bearish when you start falling back into the lows. Okay, so now that we're back into the higher range here, we want to go to the highs now. We want to go up, and not like before where we kind of had a little mini failed auction here. What we really want to do is get above there, flip the value area high into support, and make a new all-time high. That's really what we want to do. Okay, that would be perfect. So that's kind of the price action that I'm looking for on Bitcoin, and let's see what happens. And then obviously if we do suddenly get some kind of, if we do suddenly lose support lines, you'll see it. The first line that we'll lose is this yellow trend line that I've got here, but actually the horizontal ones are the key ones. So I think we don't really want to see the price come back underneath the previous all-time high. And then we certainly don't want to see the price come underneath this daily level. That would look pretty bearish. And I think if that started to happen, you're going to get people start shorting again. Okay, they'll start shorting again because they'll be covering their longs. They don't want to. There's a lot of people in leverage longs. They don't want to risk losing value if the price starts dropping. And we're in safety at the moment. And as soon as we lose levels, we're going to go back into the danger of falling again. So at the moment, I think we're okay. I think the first clue would be the potentially losing this previous all-time high. We don't want to lose that. Ideally now what we want to do is put some volume up here and then head up to the all-time high. That'd be really nice. I'll be looking forward to that price action. Let's see what happens. Okay, and that's basically Bitcoin. And Bitcoin can only do one of two things. It can go up or down. At the current situation where we're at, if it goes down, it's going to look bearish, and if we go up, it's going to look bullish. We're not in a situation where we can consolidate bullishly, and where it doesn't matter if the price goes up or down, it's bullish. Once we get into the all-time high, once we pass the all-time high, this is the all-time high. If we pass the all-time high, then Bitcoin can do whatever it wants. It can go up, down, left, right. You can zigzag and do anything. No one cares. It will be bullish. Yeah. To consolidate above the all-time high is going to be bullish, regardless of what Bitcoin does. Okay. The problem is that we're not there yet. Yeah. We have to get above the all-time high, and then we have to just hold above the all-time high. Okay. Once that happens, you can have fun with your altcoins. You can just enjoy life. So that's Bitcoin. What's interesting about Slerf, I mean, look, there's so many things going on with Slerf, and the question here from Bays, if you're still here, was about the lower low, just like the last 20 times before a small bounce, the new lower low. I think I understand what you're asking me, and I'm going to tell you what's changed. Right, I'm going to tell you what's changed, if anything. Let's have a look at it together. And let's start by looking at the candles. Okay, let's just get rid of everything. Let's have a look at the candles. Get rid of all these lines and stuff. We'll keep the all-time high and the all-time low. Now the all-time low and the all-time high. The all-time low, the data that I have is from CoinMarketCap. So CoinGecko is incorrect. You go and have a look at Slerf on CoinGecko. You see it says all-time low about 8 hours ago. This is incorrect. You can ignore that. You want to see the CoinMarketCap all-time low. That's the correct one. 23 days ago at 0.3401. Okay. That's this line here. That one. Where did I get that value from? I got it from HTX. Okay, so I've got the HTX chart here. Let me just get rid of all these lines again. Okay. And what you'll see is that there's this pivot. Which one was that? I'm not sure which one I did. Only these two, I think. You see this red pivot? So this is the 4-hour time frame. And this is the all-time low, this red pivot here. On HTX. The all-time high is, God knows. For some reason it's reported there. Anyway, but the all-time low is correct here. And the reason why it's correct is because HTX has most of the volume right now. It has had most of the volume since the beginning. If you look at CoinMarketCap, you go to the markets, you have a look at the volume, you'll see that the most of the volume is on HTX, and then the perpetuals, you'll see most of the volume is on Bybit. So I only use those two to chart and analyze. I do have this Radium open here somewhere, but I'm not really too bothered about Radium because you can't really tell anything from the Radium charts. If you look at the Radium charts, you see this pivot here. We've actually held a higher low on the Radium chart. You can just about see it. Yeah, you just about see it. See that? It's a higher low on the Radium chart too. But I don't really like this chart. I have it for reference, but I don't really like it. So I'm just focusing on the HTX one. Danger Bays, welcome. Nice to see you. There's two Bayes here. Bays and Danger Bays. Are you the same person? The first 4-hour bull div printed on Slerf also. I'll have a check. Yeah, I'll have a check it out. So I'm only using, so as far as I can see, I'm going back to Bybit. All right. And I think Bybit's really important. Perpetuals are really important in analyzing charts because traders make so much of the volume, and also you have to take into consideration the leverage and where people put their stops. That's how you can move up and down when you can get short squeezes and long squeezes. And so that's why I'm focused on the perpetuals and not so much on the spot markets. And it's good that we have a healthy perpetual chart on Slerf. So this all-time low is the one from HTX. That's the one I'm considering. And what's interesting about Bybit, there's a couple of things actually. So let me just go and talk about, I had an analysis yesterday. I don't know if anyone watched my video. It's a short video, but basically I was thinking about a harmonic, right? My idea was that it would kind of end there. And I was basing it on fib time from this point to this point, from this X to this A. Where's the A? I think it's that one. To the B here. It's the B. It's the A. To the C, to the X, to the A. Anyway, and I was thinking that we'd put in a pivot at the early hours of last night at about 5 a.m. And so I was up at 5 a.m. and I took a long. And I was initially thinking it'll be much higher and we'll just kind of swing failure these lows. When I woke up and I saw it was much deeper, I still took the long because I was focused on the fib time. Okay. And this morning when I was looking at the charts, we hadn't had this dip yet. And I explained in my morning stream that I had quite a wide invalidation. Mainly because I'm a bit worried that these exchanges can sometimes liquidate hunt. Yeah, so when you put your invalidation, when you put your stop loss, sometimes these exchanges can go after your stop orders, especially if they're quite tight. And so sometimes it's better to have quite a wide invalidation, and they can't do that. These exchanges are quite scrupulous, and they'll kind of go and chase your stops. That's my experience. I don't know if it's true, but I think it is. So I said I had a wide invalidation. Now, what happened was that this was the pattern that I was trading. This pattern was invalidated in my stream because we made another low. So the low here came underneath here. You see that wick at 12? It came underneath the D. Okay. I wasn't looking to close the trade because it's what I was thinking about doing was adding. The reason why was because Bitcoin was holding support. So in my mind, I was thinking as long as Bitcoin holds support, I'm going to hold this trade. I'm not going to just dump this trade. And actually, I posted on my Twitter somewhere. So look, BTC holding support, took a Slerf long on fib time at D pivot of my cipher harmonic will cut loose if BTC loses support. So as basically, I'm basically trading Slerf but using Bitcoin as my guide. That's basically what I'm doing. Almost ignoring Slerf. These are ideas, but really it's Bitcoin that's moving Slerf at the moment. I've always been saying that. And obviously this morning we had a little bit of a dip. I was still bullish because we hadn't lost support even though we had a dip. So I just bought the dip. I just literally bought the dip. And again on my stream, on my Twitter, look, I'm not fading out Slerf. This is the dip. The reason why I said that, it was really easy to see. I don't know if people can see it the way I see it, but we had a swing failure. We had a swing failure of this pivot. So let me just draw it so you guys can see it. Let's just hide that harmonic now. See that? We had a swing failure. Okay. It's clear to see effectively what a swing failure is, if you're not familiar, is that the price goes underneath a previous pivot. That's your pivot. And it just comes back up. Yeah. And the reason why they're so powerful is because there is a lot of market stop losses, stop markets underneath that pivot. So underneath that pivot, you have people have their stop losses. So anyone who is long in this whole range, in all of this range up to this point, would have had their stop loss here. So as the price comes down underneath this pivot, all of a sudden you have a lot of people selling at market because they're getting validated. So they're selling, they're closing their positions at market, they're stopping out, they're getting stopped out. Okay. And when you see the price come back up, that's it. After all of that selling, the price is back up above that previous level. So after all of that selling, you have to consider the logic. All of a sudden you have a lot of sellers selling this way at the lows, and the price goes up. So what does that tell you? That tells you that the selling can't push the price down anymore. So it's a good time to buy. I saw that. And not only did it take that pivot, it also took this pivot here too. You see that? So I was looking at this and I was going to myself, wait a minute. This is bullish. This isn't bearish. This is really bullish. You've just swing failure to 2 pivots and the price is going up. It's not going down, it's going up. We needed to flush out the liquidity because I mentioned in my stream that the funding rate was quite high. And I mean, it's gone back up as well, which is normal. So I started longing. So I started longing this range, and here we're, and what you can see with the price action, I mean, look, I'm not saying that it can't go down. I'm not saying that it can't do that. Of course it can. You know, the price can do anything. But this is actually quite a powerful V-shaped recovery with a swing failure of historic price action. This one here and this one here, yeah? So you could argue that this is quite a really good price action. Really bullish price action. And in coming to your point, it also looks like we've held the all-time low. That's what it looks like, yeah? Even though we've made a lower low with respect to these pivots, I think the biggest concern for people would have been if we would have come and made a new all-time low. I think that would have been bearish. I'm not saying it can't happen. Of course, if Bitcoin was to dump tomorrow, we're probably going to make a new all-time low. And the reason why is because you also, now everyone who's long will have their invalidation underneath this pivot here. So of course, if the price goes down, you're going to get the same situation. You're going to get market sellers selling, and it's quite close to the all-time low. So you'll possibly will make another a new all-time low. That would be really bearish. I think that would be really bearish if that was to happen. And at the moment, I can't see that happening. And what's really good about this price action is this pivot here, we're back above it. So we're back above that pivot, and that's acting as support now. It's like an SR flip. So we've kind of come underneath that pivot, and now we're back above it, and we've tested it. So the next indication of bearishness for me, if it was to present itself, would be to lose this line. I wouldn't want that to happen. I think that's quite important. It's a little bit of an SR flip going on here. Mark that out. Okay, I don't think I want to lose that line. If we do attack it again, it's possible. I just want that to hold. That's what I want to happen. Yeah, I think this time is different because we've had a swing failure of really important historic pivots. This is the first one on the day of the launch on perpetuals on this exchange, March 18th of March, and obviously this one as well, 5th of April. We've come underneath these pivots and we've come right back up. Yeah, so effectively, and this one was really important. I don't think you understand how important this pivot was. Yeah, but everyone who was long in the whole of this whole range would have put their stop loss there underneath that pivot. Yeah, maybe some people were smarter and they put their stop loss lower down underneath the all-time low. I don't know. I can't tell you if they did or did not. But I think most people would have, if they were long, they would have put their stop there. And so therefore you had selling pressure underneath these lows and the price bounced back up. So it went the other way. After you have people selling, the price goes up. So I'm suggesting that that's actually bullish. Now, I'm not saying that the price can't continue going down. I think obviously that's got a large part has to do with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is really influencing everything right now. The other thing is that you know, I'm not like, I mean, I've got an idea. My idea was a harmonic. Maybe this was the harmonic, you know, like it's very subjective patterns. And not everyone can get it 100% right. I don't claim to. I was looking for a long here because I was looking at this harmonic. I've got it here. This is the harmonic I was looking for. And I was basing that off these standard shapes. And I was thinking it was a cipher because we had a higher C than the A, and I thought we would make a higher D. But what I'm seeing now is possibly this D was much lower. And again, it's hard to do. And that would look more like a shark. I don't think it looks like a shark. But in crypto, things don't always look the way they're meant to. But in terms of the pivots, it's correct. This one coming under the low, that one coming above the high. Crypto is a bit weird, so I'm not saying this is a harmonic or not, but it could be. That could be a shark, and that's a bullish shark. So I was looking for a long. I was very bullish, and that, for me, that coincided with Bitcoin. Bitcoin holding support, this completing some kind of harmonic, and also swing failure, the lows, it all coincided together. Anyway, there's a few other things that I was looking at today earlier. And so the other idea that I had was this bump and run idea. I think that's invalidated. So you know, one idea works and then the other idea doesn't. And so my original idea was this bump and run. I think that's invalidated. And so the idea of a bump and run is that, how do I do this again? I can't remember. You have a steep trend line like that. No. I wish I didn't delete it. I had another trend line and I've deleted it. I think that's invalidated. The reason why I think the bump and run's invalidated is because in a bump and run pattern, you shouldn't really take out the low of the bump and run idea. So I posted that in a previous video, and I think that idea is not correct. So I'm just going to get rid of that. All right. So let's just look at the current price action now. And let's just have a look at, let's just analyze the charts. So the first thing I'm going to do is just have a look at the volume. And okay, so you see here, we're above the value area low. Let me have a look at the volume levels, which I have historically. And this is quite interesting. So you see what's happened is that the volume has shifted the value area. So before, the value area low was here, and now it's moved down to here. So now we're back into the value area. Whereas we lost it before, we're back into it. The reason we're back into it is we've put in enough volume at the lows here that has shifted the value area lower, and now the price is back into the value area. So actually that's quite a bullish development for the price to come back into the value area by shifting the whole value area slightly to the downside, and the value area high is slightly lower as well. The point of control is still where it is, so the point of control is still going to act as strong resistance. It will act as resistance until it flips, until we flip it into support. And then we do have a high volume node here as well. And you have to pay attention to these high volume nodes, because there's trapped liquidity in these high volume nodes, and the price can react as we come up into that high volume node. Okay, so that's the volume levels. Let me just delete that. That's how anchored with VWAP. So that's just the average weighted volume price. That's right up there for the whole range. That's basically telling us that the average volume is up there. So there's a lot of people who put in volume in the highs. Let me have a look at these candles again. Hold on. Let me just hide those. Get rid of this. And get rid of these. Let me have a look at these candles. Yeah, I mean, that's tomorrow's candle needs to be green, needs to go up. That's what I think. We need a green candle and it needs to go up. I would have preferred if today's was a green candle, to be honest with you. I would have liked for today to have closed up there as a green candle. So we still have a little bit of work. We're not out of the woods yet. Yeah, because we're still looking at a red candle. It's bullish in the sense that there's a buying tail into the lows, and we've taken the liquidity from these lows. But you know, anything can happen. So we need to get out of these lows. This 12-hour candle is nice. The only hesitation I have with this candle is that I would have preferred more volume. So if we would have had more volume, we'd have a lot more confidence in this candle. And obviously the day hasn't ended yet. So we have to see how this candle finally closes in about 2 hours time. Let me just have a look. So we have some levels that we have to contemplate. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with higher time frame levels. I've got some marked out already on the weekly time frame. You've got your weekly level up there, the first weekly open. We'll keep that. And then we have this daily level, which I'm going to mark now. These are going to have to be flipped from resistance into support. And then you obviously have one here at the same place as this weekly level. Exactly the same place. You have one higher up there, and this one is washed. Okay. Let's show dailies. Bring those into there. Let's bring these up. What's that one? It's fine. Just have a look at these candles. I mean, this is a really nice 4-hour reversal pattern forming here. See, on the 4-hour time frame, this higher volume candle is nice. Yeah, and you have this, it's followed by a green candle. So that's a bit of a reversal pattern in this whole formation here. And now we just need continuation. And then when you look at these candles, you can kind of see the same thing. My only concern about the price that is that you have decreasing volume here. Decreasing volume, increasing prices. That's my only concern. We're still not out of the woods. Honestly, we're still not. I can tell you that. And I think the reason why I say that is because I need more volume. Let me just quickly have a look at HTX. Yeah, you see the volume? It's not crazy volume. In the whole range, if you see the volume, look at all of that volume. And then relatively, look how small it was today. So I'm a bit concerned about that. Let me just quickly have a look at radium. See, radium has this, it's telling us the same thing. Look at the volume. Just something to bear in mind. Let's back to HTX. Let's go to Bybit. And just see what else I have here. So time. Get rid of that. All right, so if we imagine that that's the all-time high there, as reported by CoinMarketCap, and then this is the pivot that we've just put in now, we can now do a fib retracement from the high to the low. All right, I'm going to do it from the all-time high. That's annoying. And I'm using the log chart. I'm not using regular log. Let me just check to see the value. Oh, it's 1.3. So let me just make sure this is 1.3, so it's the correct numbers. And then this one, I'm just going to do it to this pivot. I'm not going to take it to the all-time low. I'm going to take it to this pivot. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, let me take it to the all-time low. Let me see if there's any difference. I actually prefer it to the all-time low. Yeah. I think keep it at the all-time low. Every single one of these fib lines are going to be resistance until flipped into support on the way back up. It's just the way it's going to be. Okay, you just have to accept that fib levels are magic. Okay, and so don't, as we start to ascend, it's very important that you don't assume that the price is just going to do that, because I don't think it will. It just won't. It doesn't work like that. As the price ascends, we're going to find resistance, and we're going to have to get through it, flip it into support, resistance, flip it into support, resistance, flip it into support, resistance, flip the whole golden pocket into support, resistance. It's just going to work like that until we can get to the all-time high. Yeah, so it's a good idea to do this and have these lines marked on the log scale. All right, from the all-time high through to the all-time low. The reason why I think these lines are important is because I can see, looking at this the formation of the candles, I can see the price is reacting around these lines. It's a lot easier to see on the slightly lower time frame, in the 1 hour time frame. You can see like here, there was a little bit of reaction. You can see here, there's a little bit of reaction. Here. See there's reactions around these lines. Here. The golden pocket is a bit of an area. And then the higher one up there, 786, you know? Right. So it's a good idea to have those, these, and honestly, I am thinking we're going up now. Yeah. I'm not thinking we're going back down. Obviously, we could, but let me just contemplate the upside first. So if you match those with the volume levels, and if you match those with the higher time frame levels, yeah. You can see here, there's a little bit of resistance at the 236 because we have this volume node, this high volume node here. It kind of corresponds together. So there's a little bit of resistance there. And obviously you have these, we have this liquidity level here, which is the weekly and daily, which is corresponding on the same line. And then higher up, we have the 50% mark, and that's the first week open. There's only 2 lines there. I think that would be quite important. Yeah, they've got a lot of lines kind of scattered. XRP. I think XRP is a stable coin. Are you trying to make money, or are you trying to put your money in the bank? You want to make money, you buy Slerf, because this has the potential to go up a lot. That's why I'm so focused on it. Right. That's my fib. What's that? Let's get that trail line back. Keep the fib out. Get rid of that. I don't like it. All right, let me go to a higher time frame. Let me just hide the anchored VWAP now. I'm just messing around with some stuff to see if I can see anything interesting. Not fond of that. think the biggest problem in going up is we've created a lot of resistance on the way down. You see all of these green candles. The price isn't just going to go up in a straight line. Yeah, it looks quite on. These red ones are good, and the daily ones, these are good. Yeah, but you have this one green one here. You see that green one? So naturally there's going to be resistance here, and almost immediately above us here. Okay, and so they're going to prevent the price from going up in a straight line, which is what we want. Really, we want to get out of this. What we want, I think what people need to understand, what needs to happen, is we need to get into price discovery as soon as possible. We need to get out of this range. Yeah, and effectively what needs to happen is we need to flip the value area high into support. So if you look at the volume area, you see that value area high? We need to flip that into support. So we need to somehow get up there, flip it into support, then get to the all-time high, flip that into support, and then we're in price discovery. And effectively what needs to happen is Slerf needs to get into price discovery as soon as possible. Yeah, and it has to happen when Bitcoin is in price discovery, because when Slerf and Bitcoin are both in price discovery, then Slerf can go parabolic. It can go up really fast because there's no volume. Effectively what we've created is a little bit of a liquidity trap. We've created a lot of trap liquidity, and what we need to do now is get out of it. Okay, it's not going to be a straight line, because in this formation of price action to the downside, we've created a lot of trap liquidity where you have people who bought at the highs and who wouldn't mind just getting out at break even. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to see how we get out of here as quickly as possible. Ali, hey mate, how's it going? Great work on a regular Slerf TA. Just remember the external factors that play a major role here, especially if the Slerf.NFT drop in 2 weeks should clear a full $10 million pre-sellers, which is hugely bullish. I agree. Yeah. So how does that work, this Slerf NFT drop? Do you have to have Slerf token, or I have no idea how it works? I'd like to know. I don't have any Slerf token. I just took a large leverage position followed by a potential Binance listing. Yeah, this can make it explode. Worth jumping in to the regular X spaces with Slerf to get the most recent progress updates. Yeah, okay, I'll have a look. I've been seeing some things on both. I like to focus on the price action, as you know by now. We have to see what happens. I think it's possible that once we clear this level here and we're back above the point of control, we'll get up to this area, to this next level really quickly. And that will be your next level of resistance somewhere here. Okay. And then again, you have the same situation. You flip that into support and you're at the value area high. That's what I'm thinking right now. And so, and then we have these fib levels, which will react. And that's the other thing. So it's not going to be a straight run. I think the first thing we need to do now is just get above this whole structure here. That's what I think. I think once we get above this whole structure, it's going to look extremely bullish, because the price is now has created market structure and the price is now trading above market structure. Okay, and I think obviously a large portion of what is going to happen has got to do with Bitcoin. And I think our next task, of course, is just to get above this structure here. Yeah, I don't know how we're going to do it. We have to see what happens. It's not obvious. And when I look at all these levels, they're all over the place, really, if you think about it. The golden pocket is going to be the biggest resistance. And then obviously the point of control. And then you got all these intermediary levels like here and here and here and here. Like there's a lot of lines. Let's have a look at that. I wonder if I can use the top pivot. Hold on a second. See if that makes any difference. Sometimes, you know, these charts have their nuances. When was the all-time high? Let me just check. Hold on a second. 19th of March. That's the problem. This is incorrect. Oh no, it's 19th of March. Just have a look at that. In the morning, and then 5 a.m. 5 a.m. 19th of March. That's correct. Let's see if that respects. We'll have to keep an eye on it. I wonder if this is the right one. This first pivot put down here from the all-time high. We have to see if we get a reaction of that 2-1 here. I think we'll get up here quickly. See all these red candles? I think we're going to impulse out of this up to here really quickly. We have a little bit of we have this point of control here, but actually because you see these red candles, I actually think probably we'll get to these highs really quickly. That's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking we'll probably do this and just go up there, and this will be it. This whole thing is going to be one big V shape. That's what I'm thinking right now. This whole down move, this whole big sell-off, it will just reverse. It's looking bullisher. Look, see, look, there's your, we've actually reversed. See, market structures changed on the local time frame because we've now just put in a higher high. that was your lower high, this was your lower low, that's your higher high. We've just put in a higher high now. We've just changed 15-minute market structure. So I think that answers your question, Danger Bays, about this time being different. Ali Hash is saying 10k NFTs being launched. Oh, I like one. How do I get one? Each NFT is 5 sol to mint. The fuck? 3,000 NFTs already been allocated. Roughly $5 million has already been raised out of the 10 million total. 7,000 NFTs remaining for whitelist. A few hundred will be allocated to people who donated to the L Bank wallet. Some will be retained by the team, and the remaining will be available to the public to mint. The NFT drop will not only raise the remaining funding to refund the rest of the resellers, but also provide healthy pots Slerf dev can use for marketing, etc. Once this refund is complete, I think major tier 1 exchange. Yeah, I heard that as well from somewhere, such as Binance. It's much more inclined to list. Roughly 85% of the pre-seller wallets have already been refunded. It's amazing, huh? I'm so bullish on this token. So I think we've started our Elliott waves. So today, so I don't know when you guys started watching my stream, but in my previous streams, I was looking at the possibility of Elliott waves, and I was imagining that this when the token launched, we had our first 5 waves, and this whole thing was some kind of higher time frame ABC correction. The thing about Elliott waves is that if you put in a lower low here, like if you, from where the wave begins, the 0, so if you look at where I was imagining the 0 to begin here, if you take out that low, you reset the count. And what's interesting about today's price action is if we reset the count, because we've actually here we've taken out, we haven't made an all-time low, but we've taken out the low of where the wave began. So what I'm thinking, and when I look at HTX, let me have a look at HTX. You see the wave didn't begin. Let me have a look at that. Let me see if it's slightly different on HTX. It didn't begin here at the all-time low. It really began here. So we've come lower. So I think the Elliott waves have reset. Okay, so that makes me think that we've just begun our first wave. That's what I was thinking earlier on today. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe we've started our first wave. So I'm going to start counting and assume that the wave 1 has begun. All right, that's my assumption. And it starts here. There's your 1. A, B, C, somewhere. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's your 3. A, B, C. This works because the 4 doesn't come underneath the 1, roughly. And then you have your 5. Okay. So this 1, the 4 can't come underneath the 1. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that's your wave 1. Then you have an ABC correction. And now we're in our wave 3. That's what I was thinking. It's not really easy to do or see Elliott waves. And it's really super subjective. But if we do it right, it's going to be really powerful. So let me just have a look at this. That's your one. And so we're in a 5 wave now. That's what I'm imagining. One, two, three, 4, 5. That would be a 1. To the ABC down to 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, let me just mark that a different color. I'm really making this up. It's very speculative because no one knows if we've begun or not. I'm just assuming we have. We're at the lows. Why not? We're impulsing. Look, these are quite impulsive. These moves up, they're quite impulsive. This is quite impulsive. So why not? There's your first wave. ABC. One, two, three. This is the 3 now. 4, 5. We need 4, 5 here. Two. Three. Who knows? Let's just make this up. That was your 3. Now the condition is that this 4 can't come underneath the top of the 1. Max. The lowest it can come is here because that will be your 1. And then you can put in a 5. Right, let's just track this. If that was to play out, this whole wave would be your wave 1. That's what I'm thinking. So hardest thing about doing TA on a 2-week on the meme tokens is telling your parents you're gay. What the fuck? What does that mean? No idea. All right. All right, I'm going to keep an eye on this. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not trading this at the moment. I've taken my long. I'm in a long, right? Where's my phone, actually? Where's my phone? Trade on my phone. Oh, fuck. I got to go on a VPN. Turn my VPN on. Joys of being in the UK. They don't let you trade crypto. Oh my god, my Bybit is frozen. Let's have a look at that again. One, two. Okay, 3. Oh, great. I'm in profit. That's exciting. Who doesn't like being in profit, huh? Amazing. I should have bought more. You can still buy more. You just have to do the waves. You just have to follow the waves. So if we're in a wave 3 now, you can buy the 4 for the 5. It's definitely possible if you follow the Elliott waves to add on the dips and then trade this if you follow it correctly. And so basically the corrective waves are ABCs and the bullish impulsive waves are 5 waves. This one was just, it's hard to see 5 waves in that. Maybe if you zoom in, it's possible. There's probably 5 waves there in the 1 minute time frame. Right, so let's just get rid of these ABCs now because I think we know where they are. And let's just focus on these pivots. Right, so let's just get rid of that now. One, two, three, four. So this isn't complete. I wonder if it starts there. No, it's there. That's good. Okay. I like how there is a reaction. You see how the price went through the 618 and then came back to test it? I like that. That's really bullish. And the price has ignored that level and just continued. So probably up to there. Let's see if there's a reaction there. And that's just based on this trend-based fib from this pivot here, one which I'm basically doing on Elliott waves. So I'm imagining that the one ended there. This is an ABC down to 2, and then the wave 3 has begun. So the 2, so you do it from the 0 to the 1 to the 2 on the trend-based fib. And then what you have to do is you have to try and see if you can get these major fib extensions line up with the price. If you see that, then it's correct. And the great thing about that is that you can just go up. You see the fibs they're all proportionate. So it really is useful for finding areas of resistance and confluence. So this has only just begun, so I'm just going to start tracking it now over the next few days, and then we'll see how this pans out. But potentially, if we're having 5 waves now, because we're in another bullish impulse, the 3 will end where the 5 ends. Yeah, so wherever, now the rules are that the 4 can't come underneath the 1, the 3 can't be the shortest, that's all. So who knows what's going to happen here? No one knows. No one can predict this. But it is looking really impulsive. Alright, we can just put those into a folder now. Hide those. That was wrong. There was a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders here. Get rid of that. It's gone. Get rid of these. Oh yeah, you have a level there, huh? What is that level? Okay, there's a little bit of a level there. I'm using Bybit. Hardest thing about doing TA on Tutor, Ali Hash is asking. I'm using Bybit. So my entry, I don't know what you guys did. You guys long, or are you on spot? I did a really crazy leveraged long today. So my entry is 0.3646. So 0.46, and I was just longing today. I was just long. I was just buying in small amounts, long all day. You got it on spot. So yeah, I would have done it on spot, but all of my spot is in TRVL, and I don't want to sell TRVL to buy Slerf because I'm really bullish on TRVL too. So what I did was I put a small amount on Bybit, and I didn't max it out. I went a bit crazy. I did like a 5x or a 6x. So I ended up getting I've got 100,000 Slerf tokens. I don't know how much that is. How many Slerf are there on I have to check. There's 500 million. I should have got a million, huh? I could have got a million. I don't want to like go crazy risk because there's always a chance that you fuck up. That's what I think. So Ali Hash is saying Slerf, in my opinion, is a play to the end of the cycle. Could 100x if it hits 20 billion M cap by the end of the cycle. If we've caught the lows, yeah, then like 100,000 Slerf at 100x, you're looking at $3 million by the peak. That's what you're saying, isn't it? $30. We won't know. And so that the hardest part is holding your position, and that's why it's really amazing to catch the low. If this is the low, then that would be really amazing. The problem is if this isn't the low, we don't know that. So I'm assuming it is. And then the other thing is, for taking profit, you're going to have to use like I don't know what your exchange is like, but on the Bybit you can hedge on the derivatives, so you can go short and long. So to take profit at key levels, I can hedge, I can short on exactly the same chart without closing my long. So that's why I like Bybit. I don't know how it is on other exchanges, and the problem with spot is you have to sell your spot, so then you have to buy back. Yeah. Anyway, people have their own kind of trading methods. I just didn't want to sell TRVL to buy Slerf, so I had to use a leverage. But this looks good, huh? This is looking quite good. I want to see more volume. That's my only concern at the moment. Right. All right, let me just have a look at some other things now. We have this daily level here. We potentially have this GAN fan. We have our fib levels. Yeah, I think we get a little bit of reaction here. And then I've got this other indicators. Let me have a look. And 200 moving average. We're going to have to get through these moving averages because of the trend is still, the momentum is still to the downside. And then let me have a look at this. Oh wow, look at that. It's at the lows. That's bullish. You see this? So people aren't quite familiar with CCI. I've never seen many people use it, but this is a really bullish pattern here. It's called a ghost. And a ghost is basically got an arm, a head, and an arm. You have this kind of neckline and you have a break. It's a really bullish reversal pattern. And that's what we're seeing right now on the 2-hour time frame. Have a look at this one. Wow. I think we should get up there quite fast. This is looking really good. Yeah, I'm not going to mess around with it. Can you chart Slerf to soar? Don't know. Is there a chart? Is there a chart? Slerf to soar? The only way I can do it is to match it like that. It's not going to work. Oh wow, look at BTC. Oh wow, yeah, look at that. That's amazing. So Bitcoin, I think, is in the has it is the impulse, by the way. So I've been doing a Bitcoin Elliott wave analysis. Don't know if anyone's familiar with what I've been doing. Get rid of these now. Get rid of that. I think we're in the next wave. So this is, so we've had our ABC correction, which was this. It's a very complicated correction. And this is our wave 1. And we're in the 5th wave. This whole thing is a wave 1. And actually on the macro, we're in the wave, we've begun the wave 5. Okay. That's what I've got us at the moment. So we're completing the wave 1 of the wave 5 of the higher time frame wave 3. Bit complicated. So looking at this Bitcoin, this is quite impulsive. And actually it starts here. That's where it starts. So actually I had it to there, but it wasn't to there, it was to here. That changes things a little bit because I need to do my trend-based fibs. 1 second, let me just do those. that one. Not that one. Not these. I wonder how far we'll get. There's a little bit of resistance here at these highs, at the all-time high. 2, 3, no. Oh, wow. 78,000. That's 78,000. $78,000. All right, if we can clear the all-time high with a squeeze, then we're going to 78,000, I think. It's all about this all-time high. If we can get through the all-time high with a squeeze, then I think this is going all the way up to there. That'll be resistance. Look at this. Slightly higher. 2 to 1. Keep an eye on that. You want me to check, compare Slerf with BTC. Oh, that looks like something else now. No, that can't be. Wait. So at the moment, Slerf is a little bit more bullish. The reason why you can tell is this is a green candle and you've got a red candle here. See that? The drop was really bearish for Slerf. As you can see, the drop here was really like crazy bearish. This whole drop. You compare them from here to here, Slerf dropped 21%. And then from here to here, BTC only dropped 6%. It's interesting because Slerf was still at the highs and BTC was falling. See that? So actually people were, what's interesting about this was people were possibly expecting a breakout, but BTC was actually falling. And then when they saw that there wasn't going to happen, they sold off. That's why we had such a crazy drop. And then here you've got a green candle. You see here BTC kind of is is going up and Slerf is going down. Yeah. And that was a little bit of a signal where BTC wanted to go down and Slerf was already bleeding. But at the moment, Slerf is looking a little bit more bullish. At the moment, it looks a little bit more bullish. Let me see. Slightly. But they're pretty much, if you look at the patterns, they're pretty much the same. So the great thing about Slerf is that you're getting a more percentage increase in value compared to Bitcoin. Wolf and Bear is saying, I think there's a macro fib line extension that lines up around 78k. Funding is the key on Bybit perps. Need to flip negative at the lows. Now the high leverage traders capitulated. Yeah, that's true. And because most of the liquidity is paired to Sol, also a play on Solana in the liquidity pool. Seems like Slerf is a leverage play on BTC. Yeah, that's exactly what it is right now. And imagine, so if you leverage Slerf, then you're ultra leveraging Bitcoin. I just hope that Slerf is we have really put in a low. That's it. That's why. Look how close we are to the all-time low here. I just hope that's it. It looks like it. I don't know. I don't like the drop off in volume though. Maybe that's nothing. I don't know. What else did you want to see? Solana. Fuck, wrong one. Exactly the same, huh? Solana's flatter here. You see Slerf had a massive sell-off. Solana went sideways. Yeah. But here at the lows, it's exactly the same, I think, here. This last bit. Only this last bit. Maybe this is it, huh? Because right now, it looks like Slerf is following the rest of the market. See that? And Solana kind of did the same thing. It's kind of very similar. Let me see what the range is on Solana. 7%. 9%. So Slerf is still ahead, huh? In comparison to Solana in terms of price increase. Let me have a look at the drop. 22%. 22%. No change. No difference. Let me see that increase here. 5%. 12%. Slerf is better. Much better. I think that would be really good if Slerf is following Bitcoin and Solana, but Slerf is outperforming all of them. I think that's going to be really interesting to see. I wonder if the market picks up on that and they bet big on Slerf, because I feel like we've only just begun. Yeah, like this is the low. We've just held an all-time low. This is really interesting to watch. For me it is anyway. I don't know about anyone else. So if there's 500 million Slerf, how many do I have? Let me calculate. It's quite a lot, huh? 500 million. 1 out of 5,000. That's fine. I can live with that. Yeah, a little bit of a pullback there. Let me just see what that looks like on this lower time frame. Oh, 122 is in the LP. Huh? Oh. So yeah, so what's interesting is look where Slerf has come into resistance. There's this indicator that I use called Level LC by Insilico. And look at this white line. Look where it's come in. And it's actually corresponded with Bitcoin pulling back as well. That's very interesting. Let me just bring my Elliott waves again. Maybe that's what we're going to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't know. To complete wave 1. Okay, let me just get rid of this now. I'll just have a look at the market structure quickly. That's a lower low. We need to get up there really to change market structure on the different time frames. On the low time frame, like the 15-minute, we're in bullish market structure, but you have to change that on every time frame. You see here on the 30-minute, we still have to put a higher low and a higher high. So on every time frame, you have to change market structure to bullish. So at the moment, we've done it on the 15-minute time frame. You can clearly see we're making lower highs, and then suddenly we started making higher highs, lower lows, and now we're making higher lows. So on the 15-minute time frame, we're in bullish market structure, and what we need to do is flip market structure on every single time frame to bullish. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So the next time frame I've got is the 30-minute. It looks like we have actually in the 30-minute look. Let's see. No, we have to put in a higher low. So not yet. And then you just have to extrapolate that into the different time frames. And ultimately, the main one is going to be the daily, I think. So you can see right now on the daily, We got a long way to go. Effectively on the daily, what you need to do is take out that high. No, actually, no, that's not correct. Lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so you just need to take out this high. So it's not actually that difficult in the scale of things. If you think about it, all we have to do to change daily market structure would be to take out 45 cents, put in a higher high, higher low, and then higher high. We can continue that market structure. That's doable, I think. And then on the weekly time frames, just whatever. BTC dominance also breaking out right now. Let's have a look. Oh wow, crazy. That's good, huh? That's really good. So with BTC dominance, get me this volume. I've been tracking this for a while, and I have this. This is my BTC dominance chart. So I think I've got us coming into. I've got Bitcoin, if it breaks up, which it looks like it is, I've got it coming into resistance here. That's alt season. Okay. I've got this higher time frame trend line. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe because this dotted line is too basically these two pivots here and here, and so the next time we hit that, it's going to be the golden pocket. So if you take a fib retracement from this pivot all the way down to this pivot here, you get the golden pocket here. So we're basically going to come into that trend line and this higher time frame golden pocket at roughly the same time. And what's interesting is we'll also fill the rest of this gap. So there's a little bit of a gap that formed in this whole down move, and we'll come right up to there and fill that gap as well potentially. So this, if this breaks up, this actually is really good, because then BTC dominance will come into big resistance, and hopefully then we can have our alt season, and then the flow of capital will go back into ETH. So if I get my triangle out, okay, let me just hide that indicator. Go to the weekly. We've got another 6%, 6.5% or so to get into resistance on BTCD. There's a little bit of an inverse inverse head and shoulders going on here actually on the weekly time frame. It's hard to see. It's like a complicated one. It's like a complicated head. It's like that. So the breakout would take us there. That's really good, huh? So the question now is, what happens to BTC chart on altcoins? Oh, they're bleeding, huh? Oof. That's a real bleeder. Look at that. Let's have a look at that. And that's when you're going to get your Elliott impulse. What's going to happen on these altcoins? You're going to get this bleed into Bitcoin, and then you're going to get an impulse, I think. That's interesting. Hold on. Where's the volume range? Right, let's have a look at another altcoin. BNB. It's hard to tell, huh? That looks bullish. That doesn't look bearish at all. BNB. There's a selling tail on the top there. That looks quite bullish, actually. That looks bearish. Solana's bleeding into Bitcoin. Look. It's going to fill the rest of that candle in Solana. It's better to be in Bitcoin than Solana at the moment. But then it goes against the theory that it's better to be in Solana, because if Solana's following Bitcoin, which it is, that was the thing that you were saying. But according to this, it's slightly different. Let's have a look at another one. Injective. Yeah, see, injective is bleeding. OP is bleeding. Ape. They're all bleeding now. ETH must be as well then, huh? Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Right. I don't know. Let me have a look at this USDT. Nothing really. Hopefully we're going to break down Pax Gold. Nothing interesting. Little pullback from the value area. Look at this. Local value area high, little pullback, BTC. So how does that reflect on other tokens? Let's have a look. Yeah, exactly the same. See that? So Slerf and BTC are pretty much identical. Interesting. Okay. Oh, TRVL. I'd like to see that. A little bit of buying. I'm going to buy some now. I've been buying TRVL. I just wanted to protect my Slerf position, which I have. I just don't want to bring my liquidation price up too high. That's my only concern with Slerf. That's all. Okay, that's fine. Can you run the error chart if you have time? Yeah, dude. I've got time. I'm just here chilling. I would have done it anyway. Error looks fine. Looks okay. What's happening with error is you're just consolidating underneath resistance. That's really bullish, huh? This buy up. Really bullish. Yeah, you're underneath the all-time high and you're just consolidating. Error is doing its own thing. Like, do you see this? It's basically ignoring the markets completely. Aerodrome's doing its own thing. Yeah, literally doing its own thing. And I think a large portion of what's happening with Aerodrome is the fact that the base doesn't have a coin, does it? So it's Aerodrome, right? That's how people are getting exposure to base, and then they're staking it as well or something. So I don't really think there's anything to say except that it's looking really bullish. Look, you see Bitcoin is going up, and Aerodrome, all of this down move. Look at Aerodrome, it's just gone sideways. Aerodrome was just doing its own thing. And this markup here in price, look, yeah, when you had this drop in Bitcoin, you didn't really get that in Aerodrome. It went up and it dropped. It's just yeah, there's nothing really to say. It looks bullish. Yeah, it's just consolidating underneath the all-time high, and it will probably take another, I think as Bitcoin goes up, this will probably go up as well. I don't really think there's anything to say. Volume is low, but that's because someone posted a comment on my YouTube and they said that because people are staking it, and that's why the volume's low. They're not actually selling it. This looks quite good. It's a little consolidation range. If you wanna do your own analysis, you can do a little volume pull on it. Point of control is at the lows. It's bullish. Just people are buying the lows, selling the top. That's what's happening right now, until eventually it'll break out, probably to the upside. So there's nothing really to say, unless of course someone sells. That's the question. But I think right now, in the context of this chart, which is off the charts bullish, I don't think anyone is going to sell. You see, look, from February to now, this is up 21x. That's crazy. 21x. I'm here struggling to get people to get interested in TRVL, and Aerodrome is already up 21x. Let me have a look at TRVL while we're here now as well. Go back to it. I'm a little bit concerned about this bullish, this Bitcoin chart. It's a real sell-off. I don't like to react, you know. Like I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, maybe it's good to buy Bitcoin. But I don't like to react because I don't want to sell TRVL. The volume. Gotta let it play out. Play out. I've got Slerf again. Slerf's getting a little bit of a pullback. See that? So now they're slightly different. Slerf and Bitcoin are slightly different now. Show you. Just have a look at the candles and see how they're forming. This is the same time frame, 15 minutes. And we had a little bit of sell. That is someone taking profit at market, which is causing that wick. So we don't have enough liquidity on Slerf to capture the price, which is why you're getting those wicks. So you have these two red candles and then someone sold at market. See that? Whereas here in Bitcoin, you're not getting that same behavior because obviously it's a very liquid market. So you can't get someone do that on Bitcoin. Whereas on Slerf, the reason you get that candle with the wick underneath it is because someone just market sold. So they took their profit effectively. That's what's happened. It's actually not bad because you can see on Bitcoin it's actually quite bullish. You could almost look at Bitcoin and trade Slerf. So maybe at the moment Slerf is lagging a little bit. It's possible. Yeah. I'm gonna go to bed soon. I'm pretty tired. Yeah, you see, Bitcoin comes into the golden pocket and sees a little bit of a reaction, whereas the Slerf is not. It's nowhere near the golden pocket. It's that range. 9%. 4%. Historically, do projects start mimicking Bitcoin once they reach multi-billions in market cap? It's not, there's no way to know why. No, usually it's the smaller market cap coins with high liquidity that mimic Bitcoin. And I think Slerf is a really good candidate, because what happens is that it's a smaller market cap and it's got really really good liquidity, and so larger traders will use it in a way of leveraging. So they'll trade on spot on Slerf, but they'll be trading Bitcoin. So instead of buying and selling Bitcoin, they'll be buying and selling Slerf, and it's a smaller market cap, so the percentage gains are significantly more or less, or more, or they lose more if it's the reverse. So as the price of Bitcoin goes up, Slerf will go up more in terms of percentage, and vice versa. What they're looking for is liquid markets, and so this is a really good candidate. But I don't think it's got anything to do it's not just about the market cap, it's also about the liquidity and the volume. So this is quite a good candidate. The only problem is that you don't have the ability to buy and sell Slerf directly from Bitcoin. So when you look at the markets, that's what needs to happen. If they introduce that, it would be a big deal. See, it's just USDT. Let me have a look at spot or Sol. So actually what you might get is people who have Solana will trade it. It's not crazy volume on that. See, most of the volume is USDT. But Sol definitely has a lot of depth. I don't know why it's not showing here. Have a look at this. Does it show it? Liquidity score doesn't say. Radian, let me see. Can't tell. Let's see. And what's interesting here, look at this. There's still less buyers than sellers. Oh, that's the last 24 hours. So look at that. So finally, it's tipped. Look, see, 24 hours. There was more sellers than buyers. 6 hours, more sellers than buyers. Except the buy volume was more. And now, buyers and sellers are balanced, but you have more buys, but except the sell volume is still more. Don't know. I don't understand this at all. I have no idea what this means. Liquidity 91 million. Guess that's quite liquid, huh? $1,000. What's this? Buy. 3,000 buy. Small buys. 18,000. Let's see this guy. It's a whale. Let's see this guy. Oh, it's not loading. This guy bought 5.2 million, sold 3.9 million, profit and loss 1.2 million. What the fuck? Look at this guy. I can't read any of this. No idea what it means. It's 980. He doesn't have much Slerf. Book of Meme. It's got a lot though. No idea. This guy's got $116,000 worth of Slerf. 317,000 Slerf. Looks like he's just buying. It's a lot, huh? This guy's just been buying Slerf. What's it, AFN? Which one was it? I think Slerf is dead. Dude, are you sure? Slerf is alive. No, Slerf is good. Don't mess with Slerf. Why do you think Slerf is dead? I think the reason why you think Slerf is dead is because a lot of people bought and the price went down and they lost value. But you know, people have short memories, and once Bitcoin goes into the all-time highs, Slerf will start working its way up, and then people will forget. Yeah, we just have to see if we can get to the all-time high or not quickly, because we've had a really deep correction, and I don't know how easy it's going to be to get up there. Honestly, I don't know. We'll see. We need a large amount of volume to come in, that's for sure. Right, I think I'm going to go to bed, guys. Thank you for joining me. Let's see what happens. The Bitcoin is showing a really bullish reversal pattern here in the 12-hour time frame, by the way. This is ultra bullish. This pattern is really bullish. See that? Red candle, red doji, green candle, increasing volume, and we've taken the liquidity from the lows here. That's a really bullish reversal pattern. That's really bullish. Ultra bullish. So probably the next one is going to be like that, I think. That's what it looks like to me. Probably. Do you have an entry in Slerf? Of course I do. Yeah, that's what I've been talking about. I've got an entry. I'll tell you what it is. 0.3646. Yeah. Okay. Somewhere there. So I mean, yeah, I mean, it could come back down and it's fine. What this is people taking profit. That's what it is. On perps. Oh, that's HTX. Yeah, perps is the same. It looks different to before. Like, look, you see how the price was coming down? This is different. Now the price is going up. It was very different. So this is where you want to be. You want to be in that kind of price action, because even though you think maybe this is now going to go down like that, the reality is that this price could just continue up. Yeah, this could just go up and up and up. As long as Bitcoin is strong, this is going to go up. So let's see what happens. All right, good night, guys. Thank you for joining me. Have a good evening. Stay safe.